Okay, for number 5, it says by appropriate long division of this rational expression, show that there's an inequality over there. Now, before I go forward, I want to point out that x can be any real number. And looking at it, I'm going to say 1 over 1 plus x squared is certainly going to be greater than 0. And the reason that, x squared, when you square some number, it's always a positive number. And, 1 over 1 plus some positive number is always going to be positive, right? Then the most it could be, it has to be less than or equal to 1. Now, why could it be 1? If x were 0, that would be 1 over 1, which is 1. All right, so I know that much. So what I want to do is I want to use their hint about using long division to figure this out. Let's go back to the whiteboard or blackboard. And the division's not so bad. It's really what we're doing. We're dividing 1 by 1 plus x squared. Let me go through that with you. And I'm going to write down a simple division. I'm going to put down 1 plus x squared divide into 1. So it's going to go in one time. There's a nice pattern to this. This is going to be minus x squared. That's minus x squared. Then you get minus x squared minus x4. You subtract, you get x4. What do you do now? You have to match it, plus x4. What do you get there? x4 plus x6. Subtract, you get minus x6. I think you get the idea, right? Minus x6. Let's do it again. What do you get now? Let's see, minus x6, minus x8. You're going to subtract to get x8. So if you did that one there, what do you get? You get 1 minus x squared plus x4 minus x6, and then the remainder is x8 over 1 plus x squared. Okay? Now, if I kept going, then I'll do the next one. It's going to be plus x8. What do you get there? You get x8 plus x10, subtracted minus x10. So you could also write down instead, you could write down 1 minus x squared plus x4 minus x6 plus x8 minus x10 over 1 plus x squared. All right, let me get my eraser out. I'm kind of done with the division. I'm going to get rid of this over here. Let me get a bigger eraser. Pull that up. And I know what I want, and I'll tell you what I want. Let's write this down. What do we want? We want to show, whoops, get my pen out again. I want to show 1 minus x squared plus x4 minus x6 is less than or equal to 1 over x squared plus 1. And this is less than or equal to 1 minus x squared, let's see, plus x4 minus x6 plus x8. Well, I'm seeing two of these things over here. I'm definitely seeing, this thing over here, and I'm seeing this thing over here. All right? So what do I know about this over here? I know 1 over 1 plus x squared equals 1 minus x squared plus x4 minus x6 plus x8 over 1 plus x squared. And what do I know about this? I know I'd get something like this over here. Let me write this down for you. And what I know about this term over here, that this term over here is greater than, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I know this term over here is greater than or equal to 0. Now, how do I know that? Looking at it, it's, x8, it's a positive number. I should say a non-negative number, and the bottom's a non-negative number. But if it were 0, it'd just be 0, right? If x were 0. That's a possibility too. So what do I know about this over here? Looking at it, I'm going to say I have this thing over here. Let's just think about that for a moment. That let me see if I did that right, by the way. No, I'm sorry, I did it wrong. Let me get my eraser out. This thing, other direction, I'll put this over here. Let me just think about that again. So this is some positive number. If you took it away, the other side's going to be greater than or equal to that. So I got that part covered. All right. Let's do the other one. And I'll write the other one down for you. Now what do I got? I have 1 over 1 plus x squared is equal to 1 minus x squared plus x4 minus x6 plus x8 minus, it's going to be x10 over 1 plus x squared. Now again, what do I know about this term over here? I still know it's greater than or equal to 0. I still know that. But what am I doing now? I'm subtracting it. Let's write this over here. So 1 over 1 plus x squared, 1 minus x squared, plus x4, minus x6, plus x8. And this guy here is going to be like this now. All right? And again, the reason that if you look at this thing over here, it's pulling something away from it. So if I took that away, it's going to get bigger. All right? So what do I have now? Let's write this down. So I got 1 over 1 plus x squared less than or equal to 1 minus x squared plus x4 minus x6 plus x8. We just did that. And let's put this one down. What are you going to get over here? 1 minus x squared plus x4 minus x6. And that's what we're supposed to show. Let me just make sure of that. Look back on the question. And we just showed what they asked us to show. We're now done. QED. Thank you.